Welcome, everybody, to the first Tour Tuesday of 2026. It's really good to see you all. I figured, what's better than talking about cruising at the beginning of January, right? That's what hope we need to focus on. Like, when's our next vacation? We just came off, hopefully, some kind of vacation or time with family. Happy holidays, everybody. Happy New Year. It's time to think about our vacations. I know that's when a lot of people do their planning too at the beginning of the year so that they have something to look forward to. And if they're still working, they can request their vacation time, or maybe if they're taking care of their grandkids, they can request their vacation time, things like that. So, we have lots of cruises to talk about today. And we have a very special guest from NCL, Lucy Rivera. Hi, Lucy.
Hi, Sandy. Hi, everyone. This is a great turnout. Thank you so much.
Oh, we are so thankful for you for being here. So, Lucy is our business development director. Tell us what you
Manager.
do.
Yes, I am the business development manager. I've been with Norwegian for it will be 12 years, I believe, this month. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's been a wonderful journey. So yeah, I've been with the company for 12 years and I'm really excited about tonight.
Awesome. Question for you. NCL, Norwegian, are they interchangeable? Like some people say NCL, some people say Norwegian. Do they mean the same thing?
They do. You have Norwegian Cruise Line. We know it as NCL. Usually internally we say NCL, but especially if you have new people who've never cruised, on Norwegian, we usually say on Norwegian. Um, but yeah, NCL, Norwegian Cruise Line.
Same thing.
It's fine. Yeah, same thing.
The casual, like, hey, we talk about it all the time, so we can use NCL.
Yeah,
We know what it stands for.
exactly. It's shorter.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. All right. Well, we're gonna jump right in to talk about some cruises. I know you all will have questions. You can use the chat. Chris will be following the chat. If it's pertinent, we can talk about your question during the presentation. Lucy's going to go through the cruises one by one, and at the end, you can ask bigger picture questions, or if you have a specific question about that sailing, go ahead and ask that. Either, raise your hand, start talking, or put something in the chat, and we'll catch up with you. So, let me share my screen. Okay. So this again, you can see we have a busy night. That's why we're starting now. Okay. Um, all right. So, big picture. That's what I always like to talk about first when we're talking about cruising with Star. So many of you know us as a bus tour company. Maybe some of you have done fly trip packages with us. Maybe some of you have considered cruising with us, but really don't understand the difference. So why would somebody cruise with Star? Well, our cruises are packages. And what that means is we package airfare if airfare is needed to get to the pier for the sailing, transfers. So if you are flying to an airport, we'll get you from the airport to the pier. So if you're flying out of Rome, for example, we'll package the bus transportation to Philly or Newark Airport. We will package in the flights. We'll package in the transfers so you can get to the local pier from the airport when you arrive. Of course, all the meals on your ship are included. We always give an onboard credit. And in this case, we give shore excursion credit at each port. This is a special thing that we do with Norwegian. So you can meet your bus at one of Star's convenient departure locations. For example, if we're sailing out of New York, you don't have to get yourself to that crazy New York pier. You just go to your local pickup location, Cherry Hill, Hamilton, Bensalem, whatever works for you, and we will bring you to the pier in New York, drop you right off at the door, and then pick you up when you return, providing you safe and comfortable transportation on a deluxe Star motor coach. Whenever there's 15 or more guests, which each of these cruises I believe already has, we include an expert tour director. So that's why you'll see Angie and Karen are on this presentation today because they want to be here to participate and learn just like you as well. So when tour directors join you on a cruise, they're there for guidance. When you're on board, they can help with questions. They can advocate for you if you need it. They can, if you're traveling by yourself, sometimes the tour directors will say, hey, let's meet for dinner tonight at 6 p.m. And whoever wants to meet for dinner comes. Or, hey, we're going on this shore excursion today. If you want to go with a group of us, join us. So we're there for you. That's why we send tour directors to make things go smoothly for you. We always include baggage handling at the airports and the piers, so you don't have to worry about your baggage. And then we provide these wonderful, unforgettable destinations that you'll hear about in this presentation today. So this is a slide that shows how great and broad the Norwegian fleet is. Do you want to comment on anything about this, Lucy?
Well, we are definitely growing. I mean, this is such an amazing opportunity to cruise with Norwegian. First of all, I want to say that Star is a preferred travel partner of Norwegian Cruise Line. And I'm really thrilled to be discussing the cruises featured in this presentation. Um, and I'm really proud to say that Norwegian Cruise Line is an innovator in the industry and has been in the business for 56 years. So with 20 world-class vessels on this slide, and we have the 21st ship debuting Norwegian Luna in 2026 this year. So this is really exciting. So we are definitely a contemporary fleet. As you can see, our ships range in size from 1,300 to about 4,200 in guest capacity. And we have 16 ships that are divided among 6 different classes. So including the Sun, the Dawn, the Jewel, the Breakaway Plus class, and our newest class, which is the Prima class, as you can see on the top row with the Prima, Viva, Aqua, and then the Luna. And then we have the Epic, Pride America, and Norwegian Spirit. There are in their own classes, adding to the brand's variety of vessels. So, the one thing I do want to add before we move on is that we created the concept of freestyle cruising in year 2000. So we always say follow the sun versus a schedule on Norwegian. And you can certainly dress up or down. There are no fixed dining times and no assigned seating. So that's what makes it great about cruising on Norwegian.
Yeah, I was talking to Lucy today. I had the privilege of going on a 7-day cruise to Canada and New England this past September. I'm sure some of you that joined me are on this presentation today. Chris and Samantha went on the Aqua. Where did you guys go? Bermuda. They went to right, Bermuda. Um, so our team is in the loop on cruising with Norwegian, and we're big fans of it personally. And that's another reason that we're so bullish about presenting these cruises to you. So congratulations on 21 ships. That's unbelievable.
Yes, and we're still growing. There's
And still growing. Oh my
still
gosh.
growing.
So I think these are presented in chronological order. We're going to first start with our Bermuda cruise with Charleston aboard the Norwegian Jewel. This is a great opportunity because Charleston is a great city, and the Jewel is a great ship. So I'll let Lucy talk about this sailing.
Well, with Norwegian Jewel, yes, this is an amazing cruise from Philadelphia. Okay, so we are the only cruise line cruising from Philadelphia. So I just want to mention that. And we have been it was about maybe 15 years ago that we were cruising from Philadelphia. So we are back and we have a 7-year contract with Philadelphia. We will be cruising 41 sailings per year So this is one of them. And, Norwegian Jewel, there's the Jewel class. So you have the Jewel, the Gem, the Jade, and the Pearl. So this specific ship actually was refurbished in 2025. So it's a mid-sized ship. It's 2368 guest capacity. And you can really just enjoy the ship. It offers everything from superb dining options, vibrant bars and nightclubs, spectacular entertainment, as well. So there is really lots to offer for all of our guests.
I love these pictures. Yeah, amazing, amazing.
So we, so, again, we provide an amazing group cruise experience for all of our each and every guest. So you can eat, drink, play, explore, relax, and repeat again, right? So, I do want to mention that being refurbished in 2025, we've added and enhanced a few things on Norwegian Jewel. One of them and is the Vibe Beach Club. So it is an adult venue where stunning ocean views and personalized service create the perfect retreat for adults only, 18 years and older. So, and there's a new hot tub and private cabanas with ocean views. There's also a private key card access as well into the Vibe Beach Club. We also enhanced some of the public areas as well. We added a new Starbucks for those Starbucks lovers right in the atrium. And we also, for those who love pickleball, we have updated the sports court, including a pickleball court. So that's really amazing. And then we also updated accommodations and added 19 additional ocean view staterooms.
Awesome.
So again, this is an amazing itinerary. I actually have been to Bermuda a handful of times and it never gets old. I do recommend this one because we do stop in Charleston, South Carolina. So with that in mind, you're going to explore the historic dockyard with shopping and museums. You'll also visit Snorkel Park Beach right there in the dockyard. And it takes shuttles to famous Horseshoe Bay as well. You can enjoy the beaches, the water sports, and the island culture. I really like the Navy dockyard because it does have everything from the museums, the restaurants, and so on and so forth. But I also want to add that we have a complimentary ferry service that we offer to our guests to and from the town of St. George. And, the guests should check the Freestyle Daily for scheduled round trip departure times. They can do that with the Freestyle Daily they'll receive every day in their cabin, or they can also check the app, the Norwegian Cruise Line app for that as well. But yeah, with that in mind, with Charleston, South Carolina, it really is a historic, picturesque town, offering boutique shops and cafes and art galleries with cobblestone streets with a scenic waterfront. So I really, recommend this cruise for
Awesome.
sure.
Tell me, what is it like overnighting? Like in this case, we overnight at Royal Naval Dockyard.
Correct.
What does that mean?
So you can be out in Bermuda partying all night. There's no curfew. Actually, we depart the next day by 3 o'clock. So, um, yeah, some people are out and about exploring Bermuda. There are excursions where you can choose an excursion either for the day or for the evening, because we do offer those excursions, and it's based on activity level. We have an adult price and a child price as well. So all the excursions are listed on our website. There are just too many of them to even print them out or even have any of them in a catalog. So, but yeah, you can certainly explore Bermuda all night.
I love it. And you just, you don't have to be back at a certain time, or you can get
Correct.
off and then get back on and then get back off again,
Yes, you
right?
can, exactly. You can do that.
Awesome. And
Yeah.
again, this one leaves right from Philadelphia, so you don't even have to go. Not that New York is far, but Philly's really close.
Yeah,
And it's kind of neat to see a different skyline as well, when you sail from Philadelphia versus when you sail from New York. So, and you
that's
guys will
right.
be the only ship there. So I can guarantee you that they're going to do a really good job with the efficiencies of the Philadelphia terminal.
Yes, we're really excited about that. Actually, in December, it was all over the news how Philiport will be, they actually started construction, and I'm excited to see the progress as well. So more to come. But yeah, we're really we're partnering with the city of Philadelphia and Philiport to make this a really smooth process. And I know that's been the burning question for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. I watch the Philadelphia news, and it is a very popular topic of discussion, here in Philadelphia. So, after we talk about each different cruise, you'll see a slide that looks like this that just recaps the trip's inclusions, right? So in this case, all shipboard meals and the motor coach transportation to and from Philly Cruise Terminal, a star tour director, because we already have 15 people on this trip, so we know that we are confirmed for a tour director, baggage handling and the related gratuities. And then each cabin receives a $200 credit, plus a $50 excursion credit at each port. So you can see there, when you book a cruise, you can book as a single or double. Single is solo, right? You get the whole cabin to yourself. I'm jealous. And then a double would be two people in a room. So, for example, if you were traveling two people in a room and you wanted ocean view, which is kind of like a window, not a porthole, but a window, you're looking at $13.99 per person. If you wanted your own cabin, it's $20.99. And then you do need to add these taxes and fees to that price as well. These go straight to NCL. Um, uh, think taxes. So your taxes here, 668 per person, and 938 if you have a single room. So that's kind of how you read that. You can see our availability right now is good. And that's our Bermuda cruise. So we'll move on to the next one, Alaska. This is aboard the Norwegian Encore in July when the weather is fantastic for being in Alaska. Tell us about this experience, Lizzie.
Yeah, so I actually cruised on Norwegian Encore to Alaska. It was a round trip Seattle with my family in 2022. Yes, in 2022. So it seems so long ago. But this is a wonderful cruise. It is, I always say that Alaska is a bucket list destination because, it's still, what is it, a 5-hour flight? But and we really took the time to explore Seattle, which is wonderful. But this ship is definitely built for Alaska. It truly is. And one of my favorite spaces on Norwegian Encore is the observation lounge on deck 15, where you can, see the beautiful views on Glacier Bay. But I definitely recommend this cruise. We actually enjoyed it. It was in June when we went in 22, but you have July, which is great, and you can enjoy, the Alaska and the wonderful ship, Alaska by day and the ship by night. So it is a nice size ship. It's 3958 guest
Yeah, this is one
capacity.
of your bigger ships.
Yes. And we have this one was refurbished in 2024. It looks amazing, quite honestly. And what we've added a few things. A new Spice H2O, which is an adult only area by day, and then in the evening it becomes a theme party, deck party for all ages. We also expanded Cagney's Steakhouse, which is our signature steakhouse. It's a specialty restaurant. It's one of my favorite specialty restaurants. Hopefully, Sandy, you were able to experience that while you were on the ship recently. And then, of course, we expanded Teppanyaki, which is another specialty restaurant. It's a Japanese hibachi restaurant. I'm sure many of you have been to a hibachi restaurant and you know the concept of that. We added a Palomar restaurant, which is the Norwegian's first ever Mediterranean restaurant. And it is by far amazing. Um, the Palomar is actually, we first debuted the Palomar on Norwegian Prima, but again, it was just, it's has some really rave reviews. So Encore, we had the Ocean Blue, but then we renamed it to Palomar. And again, just lots of selection of dishes of land and sea at Palomar. And then we updated some accommodations over. We added a H2, which is the Haven Premier Owner Suite with large balcony and 24 additional backroom balcony staterooms on this specific ship. So lots of great things for Norwegian Encore. You will be pleased.
So
So with
this,
the,
we're
yes,
flying out of Philly. I think we already have our flights for this one.
awesome. Yeah. So I again, this is a really nice itinerary, I have to say. When you get to experience Seattle, which was my first time, and we saw the sights in Seattle, like the Space Needle, and we have great pictures of it. Actually, I should have added it all into this presentation, but yeah, there was some amazing opportunities there. So let me just, my computer is acting up. I apologize.
Oh, no problem. I'll take the time to mention that. We fly in the day before sailing because we don't want to be rushed. We've lived through a couple of flight cancellation situations, and
Right.
um, thankfully everything has worked out okay, but it was a little too risky to not fly in the night before. So we fly in. And then we go to sleep that first night in a hotel. So we'll include the transfer from the airport to the hotel. And then we'll pick you up in the morning and we'll take you on a Seattle sightseeing tour. We'll do all the highlights. We'll see all the highlights of that awesome city. And then that same bus will bring you to the ship. You get on the ship usually around noon or something like that. And then the ship will embark at 4 p.m. So you guys have an extra kind of day to get settled, get used to the time change. It's just not as much of a crazy situation. So that's a change that we made a couple years ago, and we're really pleased with it.
That's awesome. With that in mind, with this specific itinerary, there's also Juneau, Alaska. I want to mention Juneau has been called the Alaska Peak Experience. So certainly you can view the glaciers, the unparalleled glacier viewing from such places as Tracy Armford, which is very popular. There's also the Juneau Ice Fields in Glacier Bay National Park. There's a kayak up one of the area's many protected waterways and so on and so forth. So we do have a good number of excursions for everyone. Again, depending on the activity level, there's also the majestic Mendahall Glacier, lies nearly 12 miles outside of Juneau. And then, of course, Skagway. I unfortunately wasn't able to experience Skagway. We ended up going to Sitka, which is another town. But Skagway, of course, it's a remote town along the Inside Passage, and it grew from a few tents to a city of 20,000 gold seekers. And today, travelers come in search for other riches to experience yesteryear along Skagway's charming boardwalk line with buildings that replicate those gold gold rush days. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Very good. So yeah, we're pretty busy on this itinerary. We do have a day at sea on day 3 and then day 6. What does that mean, cruise Glacier Bay?
Yes, that is an amazing opportunity. We actually have a ranger from the Glacier Bay National Park right on the ship. and will be and does a whole narration of Glacier Bay. So you're sailing through Glacier Bay National Park and Reserve, and it is comprised, I'm sorry, of 3.3 million acres of natural wonders. So that is when you're going to be taking plenty of pictures. You're going to be on the top deck. You're going to be on your balcony. You're probably might be in the observation lounge. But this is an opportunity once in a lifetime, again, as a bucket list. So you'll see and you'll experience the magnificent glaciers and wildlife of the National Park and
Sounds
Reserve.
awesome. So,
Yeah,
so you're on the ship that day, which is also nice because
yes,
you get this experience of going
we're
through Glacier
cruising
Bay,
right
but you
through
don't get off the
Glacier Bay.
ship.
Correct.
So you're on the ship for 2 days, and then you have the opportunity to get off the ship on all the other days, which is nice. And then when you arrive back in Seattle, you'll disembark at 7 a.m. and we fly home, I think, sometime around 1 or 2 o'clock or something like that. Back to Philly. So that's the itinerary. Of course, Lucy talked about the different ports of call. Noted here is the sightseeing tour. Juneau, which Linda commented has amazing whale watching, so that's great. Skagway, there's Little Glacier Bay, Ketchikan, Victoria, so which is kind of neat. You've got a, Canadian port there as well. And let me just let somebody in. So you can see the pricing there. In this case, we actually have some mini suites available, balconies, interiors. So no ocean views. Again, this ship was built a little bit differently. So you're looking at the interior cabins, balconies, and mini suites. You can see the pricing right there. Availability is good. And don't forget to add your taxes and fees. So, Angie, what did we? I know Angie's been to Alaska a couple times. Did we forget anything? Do you want to add anything?
So, yeah, I would love to add a couple things. Glacier Bay is a once in a lifetime experience. The picture that you just showed of that huge glacier, they're melting like almost daily, and
Yeah.
you just need to see it before any more time goes by. They are amazing, floating in the water. You hear this like crackling sound, and all of a sudden, boom, and the glacier comes down. It's just amazing. And the ship actually goes up and then turns and comes back. So you get both sides of the bay, no matter what side the ship that you're on. The tour in Seattle is only a half a day, but we go by the Space Needle, we go by the waterfront. We actually get off and see the salmon running upstream, which was really cool. And then we get to the ship in time for lunch, and it was just a fabulous trip. The other thing I'll say is being on so many cruises, there are no tenders in Alaska. When we pull up to the port, we get right off. Skagway is like the coolest little cowboy town you've ever been to. You got to stop in the saloon, have a quick beer. You can walk up and down the street right from the ship. It's so cute. And then I'll just leave you with shopping. Ketchikan has an amazing shopping. It's a store, but it's like the size of two football fields, and it's the cheapest prices in all of Alaska.
Wow. Okay, you sold
So
me.
hopefully you see you there. Yeah.
Speaking of, I should have, I'll go back and talk about Bermuda for a second, but Angie is the escort, the tour director for this cruise that we're discussing that leaves
Oh,
on July 11th. There's already 22 people that are booked to travel with Angie. Angie does a great job, as do all our tour directors. So the merrier, the more the merrier. And I did neglect to mention for the Bermuda cruise with Charleston, that's going to be escorted by Kathy Gillespie. Kathy is another cruise loving tour director. And there's, funny enough, 22 people booked on that trip as well. Um,
awesome.
so two great choices so far. This is one of my favorites, Canada and New England. This is the cruise I went on last year, although I was on a different ship. But it was perfectly timed in September. We had excellent weather. And we just absolutely had a fantastic time. I love the different ports, and I think we spend the perfect amount of time in each one. So I'll let Lucy take it away on this.
Okay, great. So this is also a really nice itinerary for September of 2026 because you get to experience the fall foliage, hopefully. And it is Norwegian Escape is actually a ship that my family and I also cruised back in 2017. So it has been a while. And but it is a beautiful ship. It is one of the most exciting ships at sea. It has everything from a ropes course, it has a walk to plank, it has, the waterfront, which I totally love the waterfront because you can enjoy al fresco dining right there in the waterfront on deck 8. Um, if you love music, if you love Howl the Moon, you'll love Howl the Moon. They'll play your favorite songs there. There's also an intimate supper club, so you'll really indulge in every whim. Is what vacation's all about on Norwegian Escape. So certainly, this one was refurbished in 2022, and the guest capacity is about 4218.
Yeah, another large ship with lots to see and do. Lots to
Yes,
see and do.
lots of wonderful restaurants, bars, and lounges. There is a favorite show that I love is the Choir of Man. I don't know if any of you on the call have experienced Choir of the Man, but um, it's a
Chris
it's
is
a
raising her hand and Tamara too, right?
yes, it's one of my favorite shows. It's a very high energy dancing and hit songs that flow as freely as beer, as the beer. But if you get a chance after the presentation, you can actually Google Choir of the Man NCL video, and there is a video of it, and you'll see exactly what I mean. It really is a fun time. So when you're on Norwegian Escape, be sure to go and see Choir of the Man.
That sounds awesome.
So,
Um, yeah, go ahead.
no, no, it's fine. So we're traveling again from Manhattan, from New York. The ship embarks at 4 p.m. You have to, well, it departs at 4 p.m. So you have to be at least 2 hours before
Yeah, we get there.
home.
We like to get there for lunch. You don't want to miss a free meal.
Oh, I agree. I believe you should always do that. That's really important. But you know, again, I love the Newport, Rhode Island. If you ever been the Mansion Row, it's really a must see for any visitor. And that is something that you should definitely do. I love Boston. Actually, my daughter lives in Boston, but she's moving back really soon. But Boston is actually a great city. It's a walkable city. There's so many great neighborhoods and rich history. There's the North End, which you have all the Italian restaurants, and I'm sure many of you on the call have been to Boston. But I say this is a really nice itinerary as well. So, did you want to add anything or?
No, but right where they right where you get off Newport, if I remember correctly, is a tender port.
Yeah.
So, so it's, yeah, you just take your time coming off the ship. There's lots to do right there when when you tender into town. There's free buses that'll take you places. The shore excursions hit all the mansions and things like that. But it's also cool to find your own stuff. It's really easy to get an Uber and not expensive to go and if you want to try something out on your own. Boston, we walked. We actually didn't take any public transportation or private transportation for that matter. I think we did probably 15,000 steps that day, but it was great. You just, you get if you haven't been to Boston in a while, it's great to kind of refresh yourself. And if you've never been there, there's great sightseeing tours that can show you the key highlights of Boston. So again, in September, it's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's pretty perfect. And then, of course, the two spots in Nova Scotia. We didn't get to go to Sydney. We did St. John. But I know Sydney is very special, more um, outdoorsy, if you will, just beautiful landscapes and things like that. And then Halifax, that was probably well, it was one of my favorite stops for sure because there's just lots to see in Halifax, and especially the waterfront when you get off the ship. You don't have to do anything else except hang out at the waterfront, and you'll feel like you're on vacation for sure. So, um, great opportunity to see lots, but also have some downtime and feel like you're on vacation. I see some names of people that were on that with me last year. So this trip includes all shipboard meals, the motor coach transportation to and from the Manhattan Pier, a star tour director. In this case, we have not assigned a tour director yet. And baggage handling related gratuities. And then again, each cabin gets a $200 onboard credit and $50 per cabin credit for each shore excursion. You can see mini suites, balconies, and inside cabins. So lots to choose from. Don't forget to add your taxes and fees, and then you'll get the total price. So moving on to the Mediterranean cruise, we're getting on a plane. Tell us about this. Tell us about the Epic.
Well, Norwegian Epic is actually one of my favorite ships. I was on this one as well. I've cruised with my family. We did a 7 day, a 7 night cruise. It was round trip Barcelona, but that was back in 2015. So,
Sounds like you
but
need another another one.
yeah, actually, Norwegian Epic, I've been on it other times after that. I had to host a seminar at sea for travel partners.
She
But
had to host. She
yeah,
had to
yeah.
host.
But Epic is really a nice size ship. It really offers top notch entertainment, amazing dining options as well. The Norwegian Epic was the first ship to include the Haven by Norwegian because we have the Haven by Norwegian on the Jewel class ships, and they're smaller, mid-sized, and they're older ships. But Norwegian Epic, when we debuted the Epic in 2010, we, included the Haven, and it was really just a nice concept because we had the Haven restaurant, the Haven lounge, and so on and so forth, and the beautiful Haven suites as well. But yeah, we also had a recent refurbishment of Norwegian Epic, and it looks amazing.
I bet. Yeah.
So we
Again, one of your
refurbished.
bigger ships. Look at all
Yes,
those balcony cabins.
yes, it is about 40, yes, 70 guest capacity. Some of the highlights of the refurbishment is also the expanded Vibe Beach Club, which again is the adults club. It has stunning ocean views, personalized service as well. It has also a new hot tub located in the Vibe Beach Club with private key card access. We also enhanced the aqua park as well. And then we added additional accommodations. We replaced some things on Norwegian Epic, and we just added more balconies, new ocean views, new ocean view staterooms as well. So, yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So this one we fly overnight, because flights to Europe are typically overnight. So you'll sleep on the plane, God willing. And we're booked to fly out of Newark at this moment, and we'll fly to Rome. And then when we arrive in Rome early in the morning, we'll head over to board our ship. And the timing usually works out pretty well. So we want to be on that ship as early as possible, get you guys, comfortable, relaxed. You may not be able to get into your stateroom yet, but you'll be at least comfortable on the ship. And you're busy every day here. You've got, there's lots to see and do, but lots to cross off your bucket list. And then you'll have one day right in the middle to kind of reset. So tell us a little bit about these ports of calls.
So this particular itinerary, I have been to some of the ports and I haven't been to all. So for example, Salerno, Italy, I have not been to, but it sounds amazing. It's very rich and vibrant. It has surrounding landscapes. It also has a site of ancient settlements. Salerno has been home to vast empires and was the site of medieval Europe's first medical school. Um, Catania, I haven't been to, but it sounds amazing. It's an ancient port city. It's situated in the shadow of the famous active volcano Mount Etna, which dominates the landscape, and it's intertwined with its town history. Of course, I've been to Florence, Ravenna, Florence and Pisa are two iconic Tuscan cities, and they're often visited together on day trips from Florence. I love the shopping and in Florence, and I love the food in Florence. I actually was on a cruise last year, and Florence was one of the stops, and we signed up for a cooking class, and that was amazing. So, yeah, I recommend this truly. And we do have enough excursions for, again, it depends on the activity level, and we offer many excursions for all these ports. And then we have a tender port. You're in Nice, Monaco. That is via France. That is a tender port. So you can certainly enjoy the French culture. You could stroll along the old harbor for majestic views of the Mediterranean. There's also Marseille, France province, which is located on the Mediterranean coast. Marseille is the oldest city in France and was founded in 600 BC. So again, all about churches and art and the amazing food in Europe. And then we have Barcelona, and I've been to Barcelona several times. And of course, you have to visit Sagrada Familia, the church, which is still going through renovations. They're still completing the church. But lots of it is a great walking city. Barcelona as well offers a lot of history, and it's just so much to see.
Yeah, that's awesome. Here's a good question that just came on the chat. What do you mean by a tender port? Do you want to
So,
talk about that?
so we transfer our guests. We can't. There are certain ports due to the size of our ship or that we can't dock right there at the port. So we have to transfer our guests using a ferry, or we will actually use our vessels. Um, we call them lifeguard boats, but they're more than that. So that's when we call it a tender port because we're basically transporting our guests from the ship to the port using a vessel, and it could be a ferry or a larger boat, and that's what we do. So that is a tender port.
Yep, yep. So you kind of have to plan. It takes usually a little bit longer because instead of just walking off of the ship and onto the port, you've got to, walk onto some kind of a vessel and then be transported. But you get an extra boat ride. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, and certainly, you just have to again get back on time. That's why,
Mhm.
it's very important with the tender port.
Mhm. Yeah. But it's important, I guess, either way you look at it. It's
Yeah, yeah, either way, yeah, exactly.
if you're not back at the dock or the tender port, you're in trouble.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So that's the Mediterranean cruise, which again flies out of Newark, includes all the transfers, et cetera, baggage handling, and then the onboard credits. You can see the pricing there. This one is escorted by Karen Coate, who I believe is on the call right now. 31 people are already booked for this cruise. So
That's great.
selling fast. So now would be the time to book on this cruise before it sells out. Ah, now we can talk about laying in the sunshine and relaxing. This is the Caribbean cruise aboard Norwegian Bliss.
Bliss.
November 9th. I love this time of year. It's kind of a quiet time. It's before the holidays. You kind of relax and get ready to be busy for the holidays. So tell us a little bit about the Bliss.
So the Bliss is one of the largest ships in the Norwegian fleet, is the Norwegian, sorry, the Breakaway Plus class. So, and we call it Breakaway Plus because it has more bells and whistles than the Breakaway class. So my favorite space on Norwegian Bliss is the sister ship of Norwegian Encore. So my favorite space is the observation lounge. Again, it's on deck 15 with beautiful expansive views, really 180 panoramic views in the observation lounge. There's also a full bar. There is music throughout the evening, but there's also light snacks throughout the day and evening in the observation lounge, which is wonderful. But yeah, this one is, again, the capacity is 4,010. It's a good size. It has a lot to offer for all of our guests on Norwegian Bliss.
Awesome.
And we also refurbished it in 2025. We've expanded the teppanyaki, which is our Japanese hibachi restaurant. We also added a Horizon Park. Now, this is an outdoor gathering space for gaming, socializing, and enjoying the views. It really was inspired by mixed-use urban spaces in trendy cities. So there's artificial turf for a grass-like feel, for picnics. It's a premium outdoor lawn-style games located there. So I think people are really enjoying that outdoor space as well. We've been hearing some really great positive response. We also expanded Cagney Steakhouse, which is our signature steakhouse. We added more seating. There's also teppanyaki, our Japanese restaurant. I think I mentioned that earlier. And then the Palomar, we also added that restaurant on Norwegian Bliss, which is the Mediterranean restaurant. And also we updated some accommodations as well.
Awesome. Awesome. Tell us about what we're going to do on this itinerary.
Well, you will be taking, I guess, the bus to New York.
Yep.
Okay, so and you will enjoy a couple sea days before you head over to the hot weather, Dominican Republic, where you'll enjoy Puerto Plata. Again, there are plenty of excursions for all of our ports. But I do want to mention with Puerto Plata, which is kind of a new port for us. I think we debuted Puerto Plata about a year ago, and um, it is the ninth largest city in the Dominican Republic and the capital of and the capital of the province of Puerto Plata. Now, once you're in Puerto Plata, there is a Tayano Bay cruise port, which is the primary cruise terminal in Puerto Plata. And it actually, you never really have to leave that area because it features shops, pools, restaurants, a lazy river. Plus, you have easy access to the historic downtown attractions like Fort San Felipe. So we've been really pleased with Puerto Plata. So I think you will really enjoy it. I love Tortola in the British Virgin Islands. It is the largest of the British Virgin Islands in the Caribbean. And so you'll get to enjoy the white sand beaches and including Cane Garden Bay and Smuggler's Cove. Also, St. Thomas. I enjoy St. Thomas. You know, it is a U.S. Virgin Island. You can enjoy lots of shopping, duty-free shopping, wonderful beaches, snorkeling spots as well. So it really is a busy and very popular cruise ship port. And then we have St. Martin, where you'll enjoy the beaches, also the beachfront bars lined in the boardwalk along the Great Bay. San Juan, Puerto Rico, it is, again, the largest city in Puerto Rico. It's the capital, and you'll get to enjoy everything from the beaches to the food to the massive fortresses. And then we have Barstay St. Kitts, which is the capital of the Caribbean Island Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. So you'll enjoy everything from the beaches, the museums, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I love this one because so it's a 13-dayer, which is longer than your typical Caribbean cruise from New York, but we're going to the southern part of the Caribbean, which is really nice. So you're looking at likely warmer weather, and you've got look all these sea days to really relax and experience the wonderful ship and chill out. And then, when you get to these ports, it's all about the beach and the sun, and there's some historic places to see as well. But you'll have, 13 days to be away on vacation. So this is a really nice itinerary. Here's your pricing. Again, all shipboard meals, the transfers to the pier. The Star Tour director on this trip is Rhonda Cohen. She loves cruising. Because this is in November, we have 10 people booked. So people haven't booked on this one yet, but I know it will be popular. So Rhonda will be going for sure because it's not until November 9th. So you can see the pricing here, mini suites, balconies, and interior cabins. So that's another really good cruise. And then we're jumping into 2027 already, which is literally crazy. So this is a year from now. But it's tough because we want to tell you about it now because the time period, before you know it, we'll be in, November where final payment is due and you've got a book and these usually sell out because they're popular times of year. So we figured that we would plan even further ahead on this one. So tell us a little bit about the Norwegian Pearl and what you love about this sailing.
Well, I certainly love the Pearl. It's the sister ship of Norwegian Jewel, and the Pearl and the Jewel both will be in Philadelphia. So we have two amazing ships cruising from Philadelphia. It is a mid-sized ship. It was refurbished in 2025. It has really elegant decor and a relaxed atmosphere. And people love the Jewel class. They love the Pearl and the Jewel because we offer lots of dining options, unique bars, lounges. There's also an outdoor walking track as well. And so we offer first class amenities on Norwegian Pearl.
And these are the mid-size ships. So,
Mid-size, so it's
if
2344.
if you prefer sailing with 2,000 people versus 4,000 people, this is a great ship for you.
Yeah. And again, this was refurbished in 2025. We added the Vibe Beach Club. Again, the adults only 18 years and older club. And we also updated the public areas. We added a pickleball court. We relocated some areas like the prospective studios onto deck 13, and we replaced the chapel and some other things. And we updated accommodations as well.
Great.
So this is nice.
Yeah, yeah. Again, sailing out of Philadelphia, super convenient. 11 days. We're going south, not as far south as we went in the last cruise that we talked about. That was in November of 2026. This you'll do Puerto Plata the same, San Juan, Tortola, and St. Thomas. So four of those same ports of call that we just talked about with lots of sea days in between. So a different type of vibe, right? Mid-sized ship versus large ship,
Right.
a little bit shorter of an itinerary, but still amazing things to do and time at sea. So again, just more about these ports that we talked about. And Um, again, all of the inclusions. We don't have a tour director yet because it's a year away, and we haven't achieved that 15 guest minimum yet, but I'm hoping we will. But of course, this comes with the onboard cabin credits. And when you get back to the midship size, you get back to offering ocean views. So for those of you that want a window, maybe don't want to spend the money for a balcony, but want, to see the light of day from a cabin, this is an opportunity for you to do so. So that's your Caribbean cruise. And then also, Lucy had mentioned their next new ship, the Luna. We are
Yes.
already planning May of 2027. So we don't have the details. We don't have all the details yet. We know what the sailing is. We don't have the pricing yet. But we can tell you this is coming in May, and there she is. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Tell us, can you I notice all of the ships have some kind of different design. What's the
Hmm.
scoop with that? Like they're just so beautiful and creative and just it just like looks so, I don't know, innovative.
Yes, we are. It sets us apart from all the other cruise lines, truthfully. And people recognize our ships from afar. I could
Oh,
be on, I could be somewhere in the ocean, and all of a sudden I see our sister ship somewhere passing us by, and I can recognize it because of the artwork. So, and we just commission these well-renowned artists, and they have really have done an amazing, amazing job. Usually during the inaugurals, they're on the ship, and you get to meet the artists, which is wonderful.
yeah.
Now with Norwegian Luna, she's from Europe, and there is a whole video of her and how she explains how she actually came up with the artwork as well. But the Norwegian Luna is a sister ship of Norwegian Aqua, and she is the next ship debuting in April 2026. The guest capacity of Norwegian Luna is 3,571. Very contemporary, very elevated as well. We're really excited because we are debuting Elton, a celebration of Elton John, his music.
Wow.
So this is going to be, you get to experience the legendary and timeless hit music of Elton John, which is fantastic. And then the outdoor spaces on Norwegian Luna, you'll enjoy the great outdoors, the dine al fresco on the Ocean Boulevard on deck 8. You'll enjoy the restaurants, the bars, the pools, as well as everything from the affinity pools we have debuted on the Prima class. And then the restaurants. We have everything from a Thai restaurant to the Indulge food hall. And we have our specialty dining of Cagney's and Palomar and so on and so forth. So there is something for everyone. And I'm really, really impressed with what our company did with the Prima class.
Yeah, it looks absolutely gorgeous, and you think you can't, get any better but it's better but different. There's just choices, right? And with 21 choices, there's something for everybody. And you can go to the Caribbean, you could do the same itinerary on two different ships and have a completely different experience. That's what I think is super cool. Right? It's
Yeah,
like going
I
to
would agree
Mexico
with
and
that.
staying at a different, two different resorts. It's going to be a different experience every time. It's just like that on these
Exactly.
ships. Yeah.
Yes, because people select either by itinerary or by ship. I've
Yep.
been to Bermuda many times, right? But now I would like to experience on another ship to Bermuda Aqua or Luna or Jewel.
Yep. Yep. Well, Lucy came here today and she brought a special surprise for you. Um, she said that anybody that watches this presentation and books a new cruise by January 14th. So how many days is that? It's like a week, basically, a week and a day. Um, it's next Wednesday. So but if you book your new cruise by next Wednesday, you will receive an additional shipboard credit of $50 per cabin. So I don't know, that's a few drinks. That might be a bottle of wine. That's, money off your shore excursion, whatever. So thank you, Lucy, for offering that.
Yes, you're welcome.
We very much appreciate it. So let that sink in, folks. Hopefully that'll make you push you over the hump if you're thinking about this for sure. So do you want to tell us briefly about Cruise First and what does that mean?
Okay, so Cruise First is a program. It's a payment credit program. So you pay $150 and you receive a Cruise First credit valued at $300 applied to a new booking. So Cruise First credits are applicable to any Norwegian Cruise Line published sailings of 6 days or longer, embarking at least 121 days from the date the Cruise First credit is purchased. So only one Cruise First credit can be applied, and it can be applied as a stateroom deposit or as a payment towards a new reservation only, non-existing reservation, a new. And as I mentioned, only one can be applied to a new booking. So, of course, I know that you have Samantha and you have, I believe, Chris, and they handle the booking. So it's easily done, right on the computer for any of the clients. They can just provide them the credit card and then, but it's a great way to save. And the Cruise First credit can be applied to satisfy the full deposit requirement for stateroom categories up to and including club balcony, or it can be applied as a partial payment towards a higher category. And you know that higher category is
Haven.
yes, a haven or a suite. You have the H categories and you have the S categories. So that is basically the sum of it. That's the gist of it.
Okay, very good. So you just basically can double your money, which is pretty good, pretty good.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions, you can ask Samantha or Chris about Cruise First. Um, I know you guys are very kind to our military, active military reserves, National Guard, and veterans can save 10% off their cruise fare.
Yeah.
So mention that to Samantha when you book. And new. Tell us about this.
So this is for active teachers or professors or school administrators. 5% off on all cruise fares and is combinable with groups. And they also receive a $50 onboard credit. So yeah, so all you have to do for the military discount as well as the teacher discount is register on id.me. Okay, and you have to have a latitude account number with Norwegian, and it will be linked to your latitude account number. So then when Samantha she books you, and you just let her know that you register in ID.me, and she'll be able to apply the coupon.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that you guys, being a parent of a teacher, I appreciate this, and I know my son would be very appreciative.
Yes, most
Um,
definitely.
so there are two ways to book your trip. You can book it through Samantha, who we keep talking about. Samantha, let's see, are you on the call? Let's see if
Hey,
we can.
hello.
I hear her. Hold on, let me see if I can find her on my screen because I have so many. I see her. Hi, Samantha.
Hello.
So you can book with Samantha, who is wonderful and friendly and knowledgeable. And if you ask her a question that she doesn't know right off the bat, she will find out, usually by asking our other knowledgeable agent, Chris Corcos. A lot of you already know Chris. She used to talk to you and book trips for you, and now she does kind of like the behind the scenes work. So Samantha is the agent, and Chris is sort of the behind the scenes person, doing all the work that is not related to helping you guess book your cruise. So um, that that is that is Samantha and Chris. But I don't want to talk about this yet. Okay, I'm not sharing my screen yet right now. So this is good. Do you guys have any questions about whether it's about Norwegian specifically, any of the sailings we talked about? Oh, Diane's asking, is it for retired teachers too? I think it's only active teachers, right, Lucy? Yeah, active teachers, not retired teachers. Sorry, Diane.
I'm sorry.
But thank you for being a
But if you
teacher.
add a cruise first credit onto your new booking, you'll be able to save.
Okay.
And yeah.
I love it. I love it. So opening this up to our expert, Lucy, again, questions related to the ships, experience with NCL, freestyle cruising, our itineraries. What else? What can you think of that we haven't talked about?
Well, as far as, again, I think with with cruising, and it sounds like many of the people have cruised Norwegian before, I'm assuming. Um, I personally love the concept of the freestyle cruising because you can dress up, you can dress down, no fixed dining times. Reservations, you can certainly make reservations ahead of time, at least 4 months prior to the sailing, which is usually a final payment. You can start making your dining reservations if you wish to do so. Um, or you can wait until you get on board and you can make them there. You can use either the television in your cabin, you can use the app as well. I also recommend to download the Norwegian Cruise Line app prior to getting on the ship. You can see everything on your app, on the Norwegian app, everything from your dining reservations, your shore excursions, all the activities from day and night, the freestyle daily, which you can see as well. And I say, just really enjoy. You can be as busy as you like, or you can be as relaxed as you like on Norwegian.
I love that. I love it. I think we answered lots of questions. No one seems to have any other questions unless I'm wrong. So let me share my screen again and hang on one second. Go back to this. Okay, so we're gonna start to end things up. Our next tour Tuesday, we hope you join us, is on February 3rd, and we'll be talking about Broadway. So many of us love Broadway, including me. Don't forget to keep up with us by following us on Facebook or Instagram, and we have special private groups for solo travelers. And those of you that are interested in our cross-country trip or have taken a cross-country vacation with us, we will send you an email blast every Tuesday and Friday. Our vacation catalogs should be arriving. Did anybody get their vacation catalog in the mail today? Let me stop share, maybe see if anybody's raising their hand. All right, if you didn't get it today, it's coming. It's coming. Hopefully it'll be there tomorrow. Definitely if you live in South Jersey, it'll probably hit first because they're mailed from Voorhees. Um, yeah, I want to say somewhere Belmar. They're mailed from Belmar. And of course, we have our gift certificate winner. We always give a $25 credit on a future trip, hopefully a cruise, if you would like. And our winner is Joseph Arfin. So, Joseph, congratulations. We will take your name down, but if you want to give us a call, give Samantha a call tomorrow and confirm that we will add $25 to your account that you can use on your next trip with Star. Before we say goodbye, I want to give a special thank you, a clap for Lucy Rivera. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lucy was our Norwegian rep however many years ago. We were trying to figure it out, what, 5, 6 years ago, something like that. And
Think
then
so.
and then we got another Norwegian rep who retired. And then we got another Norwegian rep for our office in New Jersey. But since we moved to Pennsylvania, we get Lucy again. So we're thrilled to be working with Lucy again. And we have been super busy building our NCL business and our partnership. And we know how much you all love cruising with Norwegian NCL. We're looking at Hawaii again in 2027. So we've got lots of things, as you can see, for 2026, and we're already working on 2027. So thank you, Lucy, so much for this presentation tonight, and we look forward to working with you again.
Same here. Thank you, Sandy, and the entire team. And we look forward to seeing everyone on board Norwegian very soon.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you all. Thank you to all of our guests for joining us tonight. I hope you found it worthwhile. I hope to see you in February. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks. Have a good night. Bye bye.
Bye.